An incredible knock from Ryan Higgins was not quite enough to give Middlesex a winning start to their NatWest T20 Blast campaign. A wicket off the last ball of the match, meaning that the game with Gloucestershire at the Cheltenham Festival was tied. Put in after losing the toss, Gloucestershire got off to a flyer with 3 boundaries struck in an opening over, which cost Paul Sterling 14 runs, Michael Klinger and Phil Mustard making the most of a hard pitch and a fast outfield. 31 runs were taken off a combination of the Irishman, Tim Southey and Toby Rowland-Jones. But the 4th over began with Southey finding the edge of Klinger's bat to have the hobbling Gloucestershire skipper gone for 20. But when Southey dropped in short 4 balls later, new man Ian Cobain pulled the first maximum of the match. 56 runs came from the 6 overs of power play, Mustard passing 4,000 runs in his T20 career before he fell softly to Nathan Souter, Sterling with a simple catch. Mustard departed for 26, but that didn't stop Cobain from pressing on, the rate staying at around 10 runs per over. But an excellent catch in the deep by Owen Morgan then saw the back of Cobain for 20, Tom Helm with the wicket which had the home side on 69 for 3 after 8. Halfway through, the total read 82 for 3, Middlesex perhaps the happier of the two teams, but Cameron Bancroft was trying to switch the momentum. The young Aussie was dominating the scoring at this stage with some powerful hitting to keep the capacity crowd well entertained as he passed just his second T20 50, one made off 30 balls. But he then drilled a low full toss from Rowland-Jones into the hands of Brendan McCullum at extra cover, the total now on 130 for 4 in the 16th. A big finish was needed, but with Souter and Tom Helm economical, it was off the bowling of Southey that Benny Howell struck this 6. But that over ended with another attempted big hit going wrong and Howell out for 33 at 158 for 5, 2 overs remaining. That was converted into a final score of 182 for 5, a competitive total, 100 runs exactly coming off the second 10 overs. In reply, Sterling did what Sterling does with a very early meaty blow for 6, the opening over from Matt Taylor costing 10 runs, but also the wicket of the Irish opener, bowled trying to hit the ball into the next county. David Milan wasted no time in showing his class at the other end, 3 sublime early boundaries in David Payne's opening over, setting him on his way. But having switched ends, Payne had a moment to remember, bowling McCullum for 7, the Kiwi superstar never really getting in on this occasion. Milan, however, was at the top of his game, an effortless flick off Chris Liddell going the distance as the 50 was on the board by the end of the power play. The rest, however, was struggling, Morgan giving former Middlesex man Tom Smith a wicket in his first over, the England captain out for a 4-ball duck. That left the visitors on 53 for 3 after 7 and a little behind the 8-ball, and even more so when Milan on 36 offered sub George Hankins a steepling catch off Howell. With 2 new men at the crease, it was now Gloucestershire in the box seat, well marshalled by acting skipper Cobain, and it was left to George Scott and John Simpson to go after Smith and Howell, with the required rate at above 11 going into the last 10 overs. Simpson, perhaps affected by his maximum striking someone in the crowd, then run himself out next ball, Cobain with the work which left Middlesex on 91 for 5 in the 12th. And another run out soon followed, a horrible mix-up seeing the back of Scott for 24, all too easy for Jack Taylor, that having the Londoners on 106 for 6 and in trouble. The rate now required above 2 runs per ball with 6 overs remaining and climbing even more when Rowland-Jones offered Jack Taylor a tough return catch, one he was very pleased to hold on to. Then, what's this? Bancroft with some sensational fielding in the deep as Southey was amazingly well held, a piece of fielding worth watching over again, and one which effectively ended this game as a contest, Middlesex now on 119 for 8 in the 16th. Or so we thought. Higgins had not given up yet as he produced both the sublime and the brutal to give his side a chance of causing a real upset with 19 runs coming off the 18th over, the target now left at 29 from 12 balls. Higgins then belted Matt Taylor into the crowd for his 4th maximum. The all-rounder's exhilarating 50 coming off 23 balls with 6 fours included as well. Suddenly it was game on again. The sizable audience was silenced as Higgins went big again, remarkably taking the target to 11 off the last over, 37 having just been smashed off the previous couple. 3 singles came off the first 3 balls, and then Higgins hit the ball over square cover for yet another 6. 2 runs were now wanted off 2 balls and then 1 off the last. And then this, Smith against his former county with a stunner of a catch at short cover. Souter out for a dozen, leaving those at the ground in raptures. Even though the match was tied, Higgins ending on a remarkable 68 made from only 28 balls. Next up, Gloucestershire take on Kent in Cheltenham on Thursday, the same day that Middlesex entertained Surrey at Lords. What a start this was to the Blast season of 17.